Hello music makers and welcome to the channel. So if you're like me, I saw this at NAMM back in January and I thought that looks really neat. It's exactly what I'm looking for. I've got a Launchpad X which I use for my MacBook for just portable music making. I've got a Push 3 and I've got a desktop computer, but sometimes I like to go out, I like to jam with some friends, so I just take my MacBook with me. I usually chuck my Launchpad X in the bag, which is great, but I kind of miss those extra controls on it and some encoder knobs. I'm a big fan of rotary encoders with Ableton. So I saw this Fender Motion 16. 32 was a little bit too big for me and I don't like the pad layout on it. But the 16 pad layout suits me because I'm an old Akai MPC user, so I'm very familiar with the layout. I also like the scale mode, I like the chord mode, and I just like the look of the actual unit as well. It looks pretty smart. So I've set it up today. To be honest, I'm going to be very honest with you, I've done a little video before this one and it didn't work all that well. I had double triggers on the pads. I had some pads that weren't triggering very accurately. I also had issues with Ableton. So yeah, I've had to go away. I've had to look at it. I've been on the website. I've had to register the product. I've only had it an hour. I've had to register it. I've upgraded to the latest firmware, which is very easy, very slick, worked really well. So I'm hoping I haven't read the instruction manual, so I'm just going to go for it again and hopefully we're going to get some better results from it. So right, let's just set up this. So we're on Ableton. I've got 6 tracks. I've got a drum track with quite a few sort of drum hits across a few banks. I've got a couple of synths set up, so with some macro controls that we can try and see if they work. And let's see if we can get this thing working together with Ableton Live. Right, so we click on the drum track, arm it. Okay, that's good. So let's just put a little beat in. So that kick's gone in quite well. Ooh, it's a little bit off, might be my playing, but it didn't feel like it was that off. So let's just quickly quantize that. Oh no, I didn't like that. Okay, let's just try highlighting those and just dragging them across. But they seem to be okay on time-wise. No, not very good. Okay, let's try it again. Usually I get that straight away on the push, so let's just see. Try again. First bit off because I think it was a little bit, bit iffy. Let's have a look. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. Let's quantize it. Okay, let's put something with it. That's gone in well. Now I was having problems with that earlier, but that seems to be working much better. So okay, that works. So they feel much better after the update. There's a lot of double triggering going on. They seem a lot sharper. Now, pad wise, they're bigger than the push, bigger than the launch pad, smaller than MPC standard pad, but sort of sitting between, I'd say they're probably around, if you've got an MPC 1, I'd say they're that kind of size. They're quite shallow, but they're very sensitive, and the rubber on them is really nice. I mean, I think it's Fator who make these now, who make the keyboards, and it's their first journey into pads. And to be honest, they seem to have done a good job so far. I was having a lot of problems with that where it wasn't picking it up, but now that after the update, that seems much better. So if you do buy one of these, the first thing you need to do is update it to the latest firmware. Yeah, that's much better. I was getting triggers on that pad when I was doing this. Yeah, that feels nice. Right, that's good. So yeah, for drums, great, seems okay. So definitely update. The first version was dreadful. I really couldn't get anything together at all. It was double triggering. Sometimes the pad wasn't actually catching, but whatever they've done to it, the firmware update seems to have solved all that. So that's a good start. So we've got our drum pads. And then you can use these buttons here to move around on your drums. So there's my kit there. Another kit. Because I've preloaded all these before. There's nothing on that one. So yeah, the first two. And you can also go octaves to move through them as well. So that seems all really good. So that's a good start. So drums seem good. Now there is a repeat here, which is, I think it's a repeat, but I haven't really worked out how to use that. You'd think you'd press repeat and then hold down the repeat, but all it's doing is changing the pad. So whether that's a setting that's maybe for their own software, I don't know. So we try shifts and repeat. No, don't judge me on that. If you know how to do it, let me know in the comments, because I've got no idea how to get the repeats working on it. Tell you what does work, 16 levels. Seems to be velocity. What else we've got? Let's try the transport. No, that's not working. Record doesn't work. Stop doesn't work. So if we go into settings, so we've got screen, we've got LED brightness. In fact, we can turn those up a touch. Even better. Oh, that's really bright. That's really good. Okay, I like that. Right, DAW mode. It's off at the moment, so let's switch it to Ableton. So choice of DAW mode, you've got off, you've got Logic. So if you've got Logic, you're good. If you've got Ableton, which I have, you're good. Fruity Loops, you're good. Cubase, and that's it. So that's covered the major DAWs really. So we go to Ableton, we select that. We'll jump to Fruity Loops there, Ableton. Yeah, we're in Ableton mode now. So let's just come out of that. Let's just try the transport again. They've lit up now, which they weren't before. Notifications may choose, right, okay. It's definitely receiving MIDI, but it's not play MIDI, so we're not playing. I'm in clip mode, let's go into Arranger. Yeah, okay. That doesn't seem to be. Let's just check our settings in Ableton. Make sure we've got everything clicked on. So yeah, I've just clicked everything, track, sync, remote, MPE. Takeover mode in Ableton's MIDI settings, I've put to value scaling, because that seems to be good on the pickups for the encoders. So there's that. But yeah, transport, it's receiving MIDI. I can see lights flashing, but we don't seem to have transport working. We're in DAW mode as well. So I'm not sure. Let me just check settings again, make sure there's nothing else silly that we've missed. Pressure, pad sensitivity, encoder curve, reset settings, firmware is showing 0.1.07. So that's the latest version. So that's all been working properly. So yeah, no transport in Ableton, and that's a shame. I mean, obviously we could MIDI map it, but I'd rather it worked out the box, because I don't have to be faffing around too much. So let's just try, see what else works on it. So we press song, nothing received, that's not working. Plugin doesn't work. Edit, mix doesn't work. Mode, add, there's no MIDI coming up for that. Scale, no. Oh, chords and scale works. And control. try load. No, nothing. Let's try click on a track, see if that makes a difference. No. Okay. Let's try mute. Let's go on to drums and press mute. No. Let's try solo. No, that doesn't work. We've got pads. We've got repeat. Doesn't seem to work. Clips don't seem to work. Scenes don't seem to work. So there's not a lot, either it's in Ableton mode. I don't really know what that means. I think the problem we've got here with this is there's no script for Ableton, which I'd like to see really, because when you just click into Ableton mode, I'd kind of want that just to be mapped ready to go on Ableton. I don't want to be faffing around trying to map it, which also worries me now with the blue hand, whether I'm going to get blue hand on the encoders when I jump from instrument to instrument. So let's try something else. We're going to Analog Lab. Let's get that fired up. I've got some macro set up for Analog Lab as well. So I've got I've got macros already set up as an instrument rack. So let's try the scale mode. So we've got main, modes, key. So main, you can choose major. I'll just go for harmonic minor. Let's try modes, more scales. And we've got the key of C. Let's do it in E. So we've got E. Let's see what that sounds like. Very, very delicate. I mean, you can change the sensitivity, obviously. There's a lot of adjustments you can make to the pads, but they are nice. Octave. Right, we've also got chord mode. So we press chord mode and it says mode, famous. Let's see what that says, famous and simple. Let's do famous because it's the first one. Type we leave as it is. Key, we want it in E. Boom, and quality, major, minor. So let's see what the chords sound like. It's quite nice. Can you go octaves? No, so the chords are just set. Doesn't seem to be any way of so maybe just get 16. So we could try, let's record those in actually, let's see what they sound like. What you don't get is the transport control. So look at the notes, so everything's clean. Got a little artifact there at the top. Don't know where that's come from. That's not part of the chords, but everything seems to line up okay. Seems to be fairly on the grid. Obviously down to my playing as well a little, but we can quantize that in, but that sounds pretty good. That's gone in recorded well, that's good. So let's go to bass. If we come out of chord mode and go to scale mode, we should be in the key of E, which we are. So we should get something tying up. So obviously it depends on the chords. Let's have a look what we've got there. Layout locked, modes. Minor. Yeah, I need to be in the right key, I think that's why, because obviously the chords are... Oh, hello. Where's the play button doing that? That's interesting. Let's try on the drum kit. Yeah, so the transport definitely isn't locked up somewhere. It's showing MIDI, but it's clearly not doing what it's supposed to do in Ableton. I presume when you click into Ableton mode and you choose that or your DAW setting, I'd want to see these mapped, if I'm honest. Okay, which they're not. So that's not a good start. So far we've tested the pads. We've looked at scale and chord mode. That seems to work. We've pressed a few buttons which don't seem to work. Let's try the encoders next. So we've got analog. Let's go back to Analog Lab because it's clean and simple. We solo it. Turn the volume down a touch. Let's double click on there and a look, and we'll highlight our macros, which we've done. Does nothing work? Nope. Let's press Control. Let's see if we can plug in. No, nothing's working there at all. Now these are lovely, by the way. They feel really nice. I did try the new Novation Control, is it, or something? And they're terrible. They're really thin. They're really close together. They feel really stiff, but these are lovely. They really are smooth, and I love that little highlight there. So you quick look at the screen and see what's going on and which one you're touching. Brilliant. Now these are really nice. So that's not working. So let's map it. So we go to the first one, give that a twiddle. Second one, twiddle. Work our way through. Okay, let's see if they work now. Turn MIDI off. Yes, that works really well. Sharp, picks up perfect on value scaling. Yeah. Take a lot of twisting round, but I can probably change that in settings actually. Settings, encoder curve, normal, fast. Let's try fast. Yeah. A bit more jumpy on fast, if I'm honest. Let's try fast. Oh, slow, normal, fast. Let's try not slow, see what that is. I've gone off highlighting it. No, that hasn't worked. Let's try normal. I seem to have lost my encoder mapping now all of a sudden. That's because I was in settings. So when you're in settings still, nothing works. So you can't try things in settings. You need to come out of it and then try it. So yeah, they're fine though. That's fine. I can live with that. It's neat, it's sharp, picks up really well. Check that up, yeah. That's great. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to go into detail. It's the first time I've looked at it. I've tried it. I need to go away. I'll probably need to do a bit more homework on how to use it. look at the instruction manual maybe, and see, make sure I haven't missed anything. But first impressions, it's a lovely size controller, feels really good quality. The encoders are lovely, the pads are really nice. I did have some issues on firmware 1, the original firmware came with it, but we've updated it and it seems to address a lot of those first little niggles I had with it. My only gripe, chord mode seems to work, scale mode needs to work. My only gripe with it is that we don't seem to have very much control over Ableton from the off on the Ableton setting, and a lot of these buttons are wasted. Now, I appreciate they've got their own DAW software for it, which is kind of where they're trying to push this along with. But when you've been using a DAW like me since version 1, I don't want to start thinking about using something else. And I'm really happy with Ableton. I've got it all set up how I want it. I've got all my work on it. So I'm not looking to replace the DAW, but I am looking for a small controller that's going to sit nicely with it. So, and I think this, for me, feels like a really good product that would work really well with it. I think what Fender might need to think about is getting some kind of script done for this, which is part of Ableton, like you do with other controllers where they're built into the scripts of Ableton on updates. I think if they talk to Ableton and got some kind of script set up where it clicks and it recognizes it's on a drop down box and it's there and it's all pre-mapped, I think they're going to sell a lot of these. I really do. But if they don't, and this Ableton features don't work, I'm not so sure. So I really do need to see Blue Hand. I need to just have those macros set up, jump instruments, they're there, boom, I can see what they are. Oh, filter cut off, resonance. I need that to happen. And if it's not going to do that, then I'm going to find that they missed the trick there. So yeah, quick summary. I know there's not much videos out on this. I know this isn't a professional visit. I'm just a hobbyist. I thought I'd throw it out there because I haven't seen anything on it. I took a punt. I bought it, 30-day return. Turned up today. I plugged it in. I haven't spent any time with it. I haven't read the instruction manuals. So don't judge me. But if you know any tips or anything I'm doing wrong, or with the Ableton settings, or there's something that I'm overlooking that's going to push me along a little bit further, and I appreciate some comments on that, because I say we're all learning this together, and I've just plugged it in. But from the off, yeah, it seems really good. I'm really happy with it. Seems like the kind of thing that I'll keep if it works better with Ableton than it does at the moment. Okay, so take it easy. Thanks for watching.